Luckily, I just have the unique honor of introducing the wonderful lady who needs no introduction, Gayle McLaughlin.
Thank you, Socrates. Now I'm taking off my MC hat for a moment here and putting on a speaker hat because I want to share with you a little bit about the history of the California Progressive Alliance, how we got this idea going and how we got to where we're at today and how we'll keep it moving. So let me begin by saying I am the former mayor of Richmond, California, a city, yay Richmond, a city across the bay from San Francisco, a very diverse city, majority people of color, with a major oil refinery, the Chevron Richmond Oil Refinery in the city. And many of you know that I ran for lieutenant governor. While we didn't get past the primary, we did some magnificent work organizing. I had so many wonderful relationships with all of you and met with so many wonderful groups throughout the state. And I shared the Richmond story because a lot of people find this so impressive. And it's impressive only because we formed an alliance called the Richmond Progressive Alliance, and we collectively worked to transform our city and elect corporate-free council members and corporate-free mayor. And that is how we got things done. We were able to beat Chevron on the electoral field, for example, even though they spent millions of dollars to try and defeat us. millions of dollars on the electoral field. And we also managed to up the minimum wage to $15 an hour. We are a working class community. We know our community needs a $15 an hour wage at least. It's going to go up a CPI increase every year, but we want to actually have it go up much higher and much faster. We also got over $100 million in additional taxes from Chevron. We limited their pollution. We sued them in court for a major fire and other incidents that they had at the refinery. We also are a sanctuary city. We joined a community choice energy program. We defended our public schools and did so many wonderful things. Many of you have heard me speak about this before. And so people started wanting to know how they could do something similar. And so throughout my campaign, I talked about how you too in your community can form a local progressive alliance. And there's actually about 15 that at least have gotten started, some of them well along their way. A couple were actually started before this campaign effort that we ran talking about the Richmond story. So I've since continued to reach out to communities and encourage local progressive alliance building. And we have many representatives from local progressive alliances here today. And during lunch today, we will have some of those representatives say a few words about the successes and challenges that they have encountered in building such an alliance in their city and community. Now, we're all these passionate, strong, hardworking activists. I knew we were that in Richmond because we were able to come together and do so much work. And throughout my campaign, I saw so many of you and so many more having that same passion and will and hardworking ethic in terms of your activism. So after the primary, we said we can't just let these connections and these relationships that we have built just, kind of lay unattended or unnurtured. We realized that people tend to be working in their own areas, either on issues or on building their own local alliances. But we thought we needed to have something that brought us all together statewide. So we decided to form a group, and we thought, hey, the Richmond Progressive Alliance name worked. Other progressive alliances have a similar name, so why don't we just call it the California Progressive Alliance? So that's what we did. And we wanted to keep this momentum going from the campaign and keep those solid connections nurtured among each other. And so we decided to turn my website, my campaign website, into the California Progressive Alliance website, my Facebook into this, CPA as we call ourselves, website, and use my email contacts, the 100,000 plus contacts we have to, keep this momentum going, and the social media contacts. And so that's what we started doing in really right after the primary in June, and we decided to hold a founding convention because obviously we're all of us who are here today are founders of this CPA. We did form an interim steering committee because we had to have a group of people to plan this convention, and that's what we've been doing in recent months. I want to share with you the mission, and it's on the front page. I'm only going to read the first paragraph of your program, just so you have a little sense of what is the foundation of what we're all about. So the CPA is a statewide, independent, volunteer network of progressive individuals and organizations united by our shared belief that a better California is possible by reclaiming our government from the corporate interests that have overshadowed the voice of the people. Together, regardless of party affiliation or no party affiliation, that's how we based the RPA. We didn't have one party as the focus, and that's what other local progressive alliances are doing, so that's what our statewide alliance is doing. And we seek and we have like 4 tenets. 1 is to elevate progressive ideas throughout the state. 2, continue to promote the creation of local political alliances and people-powered coalitions to enact progressive change in local government. And 3, to support corporate-free progressive candidates. That's really, really important. No corporations have dominated the electoral field for too long. And of course, to support progressive issue-based electoral campaigns, and to wield our collective power to lobby the state legislature on current and future legislation, as well as research and write new model legislation. So that's basically, there's a little bit more, so you can read that on your own. But basically, that's the foundation from which we have formed this group. And we know that we have the will. We just have to put it into practice. So I would like to, before I continue and make a few more comments, I would like to ask the members of the Interim Steering Committee to stand up, maybe come up here for a moment. I'll call your names. Melanie Liu, Socrates Cruz, Lawrence Steiner, Parker Mankey, Ankur Patel, Leslie Simon, Mark Bender. Okay, you're all standing. Great. I think standing is okay if we want to save time here. Let's give them a round of applause. I also, a member of the Interim Steering Committee is Adriel Hampton, who, due to unforeseen circumstances, could not make it today. So Adriel and everyone else that I just mentioned, and myself, were part of the Interim Steering Committee. Paul Kilkenny was the Assistant Treasurer. So let's give a round of applause to the whole Steering Committee. So this organization is an organization of individual members. We're democratic and we're inclusive. Some have called us an umbrella organization. I like what Jeff Newman of, what is it, movie? It's Money Out, Voters In, called it. An upside-down umbrella organization because we work from the ground up. We don't have a hierarchy. So we're an upside-down umbrella organization. We're unique in that we're corporate-free and we're real progressives and we don't let party get in our way. We stand together based on our values. We're also an organization that has ally organizations that are part of our group that are they are not members, but we want to connect all the ally organizations to share their issues, and we can help. So when an ally organization has an issue, we can spread it to all the allies. And if there's an emergency alert, we're going to help to spread that among all the allies and all our members. I'd like to read the confirmed ally organizations and many more. We welcome to come. Some of you are having to go to your organizations and get a vote, and please become an ally organization. Email me, gayledirect@gmail.com, if you want the sign-in sheet. We'll be reaching out a lot in a continuous basis as well. So these are the organizations: Peninsula Peace and Justice Center, Human Agenda, South Bay Progressive Alliance, California Public Bank Alliance, Divest LA, Revolution LA, Public Banking LA, Romero Institute, Lakota People's Law Project, Green Power, Green Party of Contra Costa County, Our Revolution Long Beach, Our Revolution Santa Clarita Valley, Our Revolution Watsonville, Our Revolution North County San Diego, Movement for a People's Party, The Incorruptibles, Richmond Progressive Alliance, San Diego Progressive Alliance, Healthcare for All California, Slow Progressives Democratic Club, PDA California. And so many more, like I said, will be coming. So I also just want to make a few more comments as my time is up. First of all, we know that conflicts will occur as in any organization. Democracy can be messy, but we need to be democratic and have an inclusive process, and we will prevail. Various organizations we know are represented in this room, from Our Revolution to DSA to Green Party to Peace and Freedom Party, issue-based organization, Democratic clubs, Movement for a People's Party, etc. Coming together as individual activists and ally organizations is how we build political power. And it's that political power that will assure we cannot and will not be ignored. We need to connect in person, by phone, on social media, in every way possible. That is how we will not be ignored. And we can do this. We're in good company with each other, right? We know that there's a huge task in front of us. But with our unity, we can make it happen. We can do this because we have the political will. We can do this because we have the principles. And we can do this because we are not the corporations or the billionaires. We are the people. Right. So, final statement, the time is urgent, but we must approach this calmly to do it right. But we do know we're in a state of climate emergency. We're in a state of growing obscene wealth inequality. But we're also in a state of hope, because more and more people understand that capitalism is failing us. But we will not fail each other. Thank you.